Hey crafty friends, welcome back to my channel, Heatherland Crafts. I'm Heather, and today I have a 2-page scrapbook layout for you. I'm going to be using the Stampin Up Keeping Traditions Scrapbooking Workshop Kit, and I'll be using this sketch that I found off Pinterest. And unfortunately, I do not know who this belongs to, so if you can take credit for this sketch, please let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure to leave a link to your page in my channel. I printed out my pictures already, and I have pulled a couple of paper options that we can work with that kind of go with the photos. So if you're ready to jump in, go ahead and grab your favorite holiday drink, get comfortable, and let's get scrapping. Okay, so we've got our sketch. Let's just talk about what we got here. We've got one 4x6 portrait photo. We've got 3 of this 5x3.5 landscape photos. Over here on the left, we've got 2 3.5 by 5.5 portrait photos, and then 3 of these 2 3/4 by 4 portrait size photos as well. Looks like we've got a 3x12 strip here, 3x12 strip here. We've got a 3x12 showing here, and then this is the centerpiece that is the remaining on each side here. So that would be a 6x12. On each side here. And then we've got a border here, got something going here. I think I might put my title here because it doesn't really call for a title anywhere else. So I think I might make that my title. And then we've got a cluster here, a little something here, and a little something here to create that visual triangle. We've got these 2 3.5 by 5.5 photos are matted on an 8x6 piece as well. And that looks like that's what we've got here. So I have decided that I do want to work with a basic black as my base. So these are some of the papers I've pulled that kind of match what we've got. So these are the photos that I've brought in, and these are from Christmas of 2024. And if we look at our sketch here, I've got, let's lay these out how they're supposed to go here without the papers. So let's see, I've got, this is the 5x3.5. So we've got one here, got one here, and one here, like so. We've got one 4x6 down here, and then we've got the 2 3/4 by 4 photos here. And then we've got the 2 3.5 by 5.5 photos here. So these are the photos. Now we just have to figure out how we want the papers to go with these. These two need to be matted on a piece of paper as well. And we're gonna have the strip here, and then one going right down the middle. I've got my youngest daughter here, Alyssa, in her brand new Grinch onesie pajama set that she loves. I'm going to create a QR code that goes with this because there's a cute video of her in this doing a cute little hip shake dance that's about 15 seconds long. And when you get to know me and you hear more stories about Alyssa, she's my shy kid. So for her to do something like that where she's dancing in front of everybody is pretty rare. So I had to get that on video. And then Freya's sniffing her here going, "What are you doing? What is that?" So that was a cute moment there. This Christmas is a tough one for me. This was my last Christmas with my Aunt Nay, who was more like a mother to me. And she passed away, unfortunately, 4 days after these photos were taken. It was a great Christmas, and we had made lots of great memories. So we're gonna make these memories fun and happy. All right, so let's bring our sketch back in here and take a look. We need to figure out what we want here on the end, these 2 3x12 pieces. I pulled a couple that I think might work, and I haven't decided which ones I'm going to put where. So a couple of items I thought I might do is maybe put the green here on the end as my 3x12 on that side. And then maybe wasn't sure how I want to do this. So I'm thinking I might want to bring in the red here in the middle as the centerpiece. So we could do that. And then obviously mirror the green over here on this side. I did want to bring in some gold, and for this border here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the border on both sides going that way and that way. Since I'm not going to be doing this here, I need this design element to continue over to this page as well. So I'm going to have it just go that way like it is on this side. So to do that, what I did is I took some of that gold glitter cardstock, which is just a 12x12 piece of gold glitter cardstock, and I cut them down using a punch. And this is an old Martha Stewart border punch, and I just cut all the way down the layout here of this and created these 2 border pieces. And for these, I'm thinking I'm going to put these underneath here like so. Okay, and then we would repeat that same thing over here at the 3-inch mark there, with the green obviously being here, but I haven't cut that down yet. And then this one here in the middle, but I don't know if that's what I like. So we're going to just kind of experiment here and see what we think, because there are a lot of blue tones in these. We've got my husband's wearing a blue sweatshirt. There's this blue sweater here, blue in the packages here. And then there's blue. There's blue pretty much in all of these photos. So I did think about bringing maybe in this color here as well. This is part of the Keeping Traditions color palette. which I don't know if you know this or not, but these colors in here are Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Pool Party, Real Red, Secret Sea, and Willow White. Now, I'm not going to be using the Secret Sea because I'm using black, and I don't think the Secret Sea and the black will go well together, but all of these other colors I think I'm going to try and pull in here. So I do ultimately want to get this Pool Party color in here because of the blues that are in the photos, because these two here are matted, and I think I might matte those in this blue. Let's see what that might look like. The only thing I'm worried about with this blue is, will these photos pop on that blue? And I don't know that they do. I think it's just the photos are so bright and I feel like they're getting lost on that. So here's the darker side of the Pool Party paper. So we were originally looking at the lighter side. Let's try the dark side.
Come to the dark side with me.
All you people who know the Star Wars references. Okay, so I still feel like that is washing the photos out some. It's better than the lighter side, but I have an idea. So because these photos do have so much black in them and we have black in our background here, in order to help these pop off this blue, I thought maybe we could also mount them in black first. So let's see what that does. If we put, this one would go here. And this one would go here, and then we would put those on top of the blue. Now that looks good. That I like. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Let me chop this down and we'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our paper chopped down and put into place. I did, when I was chopping this down, because I ended up double matting this photo, this piece right here ended up being longer than 8x6 because of the double mat. So I ended up chopping these down to 2.5 rather than 3. So these are now 2.5 by 12 instead of 3 by 12 pieces. And that left me a little bit more room to get this in here with that double mat on it and still have that black coming through. So there's the same distance here between that bubble border and the mounted photos. So I'm liking how this is coming together. And now we have to, let's put our photos back on here. We've got these guys here. I'm thinking also may want to put something there on that edge here and here, but I haven't decided yet. So let's just see how this comes together. We've got this one here, this one here, and this one here. So I like how that looks. That looks good. We don't need to do any matting of those there. And then we have these guys here. Let's see, which way did I have these? So we've got this one here. We've got this one. I want this one on the edge because she's looking in this way, and I like that red on top of the green. And then this one's here a little bit more neutral. This is actually the night before Christmas. She's shaking all the boxes trying to figure out what's going on. And it just so happened she was doing that while Ralphie here had the soap in his mouth on the TV as we were watching A Christmas Story. So I thought the idea of her like getting into trouble shaking the packages here with Ralphie with soap in his mouth was pretty funny. So there's that memory as well. And one more thing I want to share with these photos here is if you look in the background behind Alyssa making this funny face here, you'll see this portrait of me. And my Aunt Nay made this for me. She put my face on a queen's body and added this. It was the funniest thing. We got such a hard, I'm going to bring this closer so you can see this. We got such a hard laugh out of that. So you can see that's me in the background, and that's my face on a queen body, and my Aunt Nay blew that up and had it printed and then professionally framed. So we all laughed and laughed because my head obviously does not belong on that body, but that was a funny photo and a memory that will last us forever and ever. So I'm going to bring this thing out every Christmas so that we can laugh about that. So this is now part of my Christmas decor. Okay. So then we've got Freya in her sweater here. Haley showing off her brand new Grinch slippers that she got. So this was just a fun Christmas. Oh, and then we also have Alyssa doing her little dance here. I think I may actually also mount this one on blue. Let me see what that looks like. So that blue carries over to the other side because I really don't have any other of the Pool Party over on this side. So I think I might mount this one on the black and then the blue over here as well. Yeah, let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, we've brought that Pool Party over to this side over here, and I do like that. So it carries it through, it draws your eyes through the page here. And we're just about done here. The only other thing we need to do is we need to make a title. Okay, so for a title, I'm thinking I might bring in one of these larger stickers or punch outs from the Keeping Traditions workshop kit. So let's take a look at what our options are. I think I want one of these two bigger ones, I think. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off, and Erin Jacobson and Jay Mamalmi taught me this little trick here. If you take your embossing buddy, which is full of that powder, and you just pat it on here, it gets rid of the stick from the back of the sticker so that you can kind of move it around and play with it and see where you want it without ruining your layout. So that's no longer sticky. So we could look at that one there. And I also want to pull this red one and see which one we like more. So let's real quick. Okay. Move him out of the way. So we've got two options. We've got this green one here, which I like, but don't love. You know what? There we go. That's the one. The most wonderful time of year. I like that because I do want this to kind of be over here onto this side. All right, now that we've established our title here, the next thing we need to do is bring in our clusters. So let's look at what we've got. It does show like a little something here, shows something up here too, which I like, but I may just make this one large cluster here. And then we've got one here, and I don't know that I want to put something here. I think I may end up putting something here. So what I did, I want to show you, I created these on my Cricut. It's very, very simple. It's just a cut file. I'll link the image in my description box below if it's available. I do have Cricut access, so I'm not sure if this one is Cricut access or not, but I will definitely put that in the description box for you. And all I did is cut these out with black cardstock, and then I used the same gold cardstock here to create the light bulbs. And I think what I want to do is I want to put the smaller, I did one at 6.5 inches and one at 7 inches long. And so I think I might want to put the longer one. Let me see which one's, this is the longer one here. I think I might want to put that longer one right here and just move this up some and have it come down here like this. And then this one right here, I kind of want underneath here, but I think it might be too long. So what I can do is just cut one of these lights off and just have it be 4 lights instead of 5 and put that here or maybe on top. I don't know. Let's see. Or do we like it to be longer like that? Not fully decided yet if I'm going to leave that one there or not, but for now, let's just kind of leave it and see what happens. The other thing I have is I've got the punch outs here. I've still got some more stickers here I can work with. And then I've got this tray full of embellishments left over from previous projects. And I've just been kind of keeping all my Christmas stuff on one tray together as I work on a project and then I end up not using bits and pieces. I've been keeping them all in this little tray here. So we can work with those. And I think between all that, we should be able to make our clusters come together pretty easily. So I've punched this guy out right here. This is from this punch out. It's this one right here. And so I think I might want to stick that guy over here. This is kind of our biggest spot for a cluster. So I think that one there would work. And then we just have to do that. I think I may want to bring in some more of the foliage there, maybe one more of these flowers here, make it 2. We've got some trees and things like that over here, some extra leaves, but the only problem is that that's not showing up too well in the green, so we don't want to waste all that. This one shows up because it's got the white border there. Let's see, this punch out here has some here as well. Let's see if this one works, because that one does have that white border there. That does work there. I also have this pack we can work with. This is I always forget what this is called. Every time I look it up, I'm like, oh, I'm going to remember that. And I say it over and over in my head, and then I always forget. But we've got these sentiments in here that we could also add. So we've got joy. We could put this somewhere, maybe over here in this cluster. We've got some little candies that we could add. Let's see, put a little candy cane here. I'm just kind of laying stuff down and we'll see what stays and what goes. I like these little guys here because they're black and white, and we do have a lot of black and white going on. So maybe put one here. I also like these little bows. We could add these in right here somewhere. Maybe put one on each here. There. Let's see. Do I have enough? Yeah, I have enough. Put one there, one there, one there. I like that touch of green there on that red. I'm not loving this over here yet. This is okay for me. I feel like maybe we need to move this up and bring cluster over in here somewhere. There is some empty space on this photo right here. So we could bring in, I feel like we need another one of those poinsettias over here. What if we brought this in right here? Move this over just a smidge and put that there. That still gives us our visual triangle. Move this guy up. Not loving that candy cane guy there. I'm still not sure how I feel about these lights. And the only reason I'm not loving those lights right here is because we've got the gold border here, and then I feel like those gold lights are just kind of blending into that. So actually, you know what, I'm just going to take that away for now. Let's just put this here for now. So over here, because we are on black, we could bring some more green in up here. I like that. We could bring this one down here. I like that. Now I have this cut out. This is from the Poinsettia Petals set. It's expired, and not expired, retired. I say that all the time. I always say expired. It's retired, but I continue to use it, and I apologize if you are frustrated that you can't use that, but I'm sure you can cut a poinsettia or something out with a different die, or cut one out on your Cricut or something like that. So I'm sure you'll be able to find something to make that work. I feel like I need to bring some of that greenery in over here so that the clusters are cohesive. And now we've got these trees. This is one that I cut off here. It looks funny because I just went straight across, but I can still make this usable. Let's see if we just cut it so it's not so. There we go. At least we'll still have those kind of sticking out. I'm just trying to make this usable. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Even though it's on the green, I still feel like it's needed there. Still feel like this needs something over here. What do we got? What can we do? Poinsettia here. You know what? I like the white, the addition of the white there. And then this one, I put some gold leaves there. We're going to need to bring some of that gold leaf over here. I feel like I need some more over here, top to bottom here. Let's do that. I'm not sure if we need that there or not, but there we go. Okay, I'm happy with how this looks. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to glue all this down exactly like I have it right now, and I will be right back. Okay, now that we have everything pasted down, the next thing we need to do is add our bits of bling, is what I like to call it. We can't finish off a page without some bling. So let me grab some options and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've pulled some of my favorite embellishments, and I've got a couple of choices that are, I believe, workable. So we've got these right here. These are these little peppermint, I think they're like clay type things. They're very, very tiny. So these could work. I also have this pack of little rhinestones that I got off Amazon. These are super tiny. I think these are 1 or 2 millimeter. They're really tiny. And then the same thing with these one here. These ones have 3 different sizes in them. So they're 1 to 4 millimeter in here. And then I also have these, which I'm telling you, you guys already know, I love these gold stars. I think they just go with everything. So I'm going to try and use something different other than those. The other choice I have, which I've been reaching for a lot still, which unfortunately these are almost gone now. These are in the last chance of the site, and they are on sale if they're still available at this moment. These are the traditional sparkling sequins, I believe is what they're called, or something along those lines. These are the sequins, and they're just flat. So I like these two, but I'm going to test out a few of these and see which one we want to go with. So we could do the gold stands out, but we've already got so much gold. I kind of want to bring in maybe a little bit more of that blue would be nice. Let's see. Let's grab my pick tool here. Let's sprinkle some of that blue around. I really like that. And I tend to reach for these small ones. I don't know why I like these ones a little bit better, but just what I tend to reach for. So I'm going to put one there. And I like to work in 3s. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle 3 of them around here. 1, 2, might grab the medium-sized one here just for variance, so it looks a little bit different. Maybe put one here. I like that. Put some around this cluster here. I think because this is a bigger cluster, I'm going to go ahead and reach for these bigger ones because I am running out of the small ones. Maybe put one there. And these, since these are almost gone, I don't want to use them all. I want to have some for other projects. Put one there. And then let's put some over on this page over here. Let's see, we'll put some there, one there. Grab one here, and then maybe one at the bottom. It just brings this pool party color back in one more place other than just the 2 frames here. I really like that idea. I think I might put some gold sequins here in the middle of these flowers since I didn't color them in. And I don't know if I showed you before I glued everything down. These poinsettias are from the poinsettia petal set. And I just kind of used one of my re-inkers and some water and just watercolored them on after stamping them. That's a fun technique when you don't really feel like coloring. So let's just put one more over here. Let's see, this is the larger flower. So we're going to put the large one on here. Oh, it stuck to my finger. Look at that. Okay, there we go. I like that. I'm happy with that. You know what? I'm thinking I also might want to grab some of these. I'm going to grab some of these. I like these guys too. I'm going to put a couple of these around here. Who says we only need 1 piece of bling? We can have more if we want, right? It's my page and I can play if I want to. We can put as much on here as we feel like. Much or as little as you like. Yeah, see, I like that. That looks really really pretty. These I believe I got off Amazon, these little peppermints. And I know Stampin' Up has some that are similar. I didn't buy them because I actually already had these. So I didn't feel like I needed to have 2 sets of peppermint bling pieces. These are like those polymer clay is what I was trying to say earlier. Okay, I think, let's see, I'll put one here. I just think these guys are just super festive. And I think I need one here. Let's put one right here. There we go. He's cute. Should we put some over here? What we do to one side, we have to do to the other. I don't know if any of you are horsey people, but they always say when you're training a horse, what you do on one side, you have to do on the other too. And same applies to scrapbooking. When you are scrapbooking, especially a 2-page layout, what you do to one page, you want to make sure you've continued over to the other page as well. So for you horsey people who know about horse training, I happen to love horses. All right, so I think that just about does it. The last thing I want to do, I'm going to do off camera as my printer is having some issues right now. So I couldn't print out my other picture, but I'm going to put one more picture here and then do my journaling underneath that because there is no other place for journaling. Of course, you wouldn't have to do that. You could just omit one of the photos and put your journaling here, really anywhere, but I like the idea of the size journaling. So I'm going to put up my last picture in a flip flap and then put my journaling on the back side of that flip flap. So as soon as I'm able to use my printer, I think I need more ink. So I'm going to have to, it keeps stopping halfway through the photo. So I wasn't able to print my journaling out either. Oh, wait, you know what? The last thing I wanted to do is take my white jelly roller pen. This is the Jelly Roll, the Sakura Jelly Roll 10 is what it is. You see that? Let me make sure that's showing up here. Yeah. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to do with this, and I tested it here, is I want to make these tops of these bulbs look like actual light bulbs. So I'm just going to draw in like 3 little lines to look like the tops of a light bulb. Like, you know how you have to screw it into the light? I just think this makes that look a little bit more like an actual light bulb. Yeah, I like that. That looks cute. And I did decide to go ahead and cut this one over here down to 4 lights instead of the 5. I took one off. And decided to go ahead and put that here. I did like the idea of carrying it over. Same concept as what I was saying before. What you have on one side, you kind of want to make sure that you carry that over onto the next page. It helps make the page look cohesive, like they actually do belong together when you have the same elements from one side to the other. So that horsey rule is what I like to call it. You want to make sure that you carry that over. So I'm just going to put some white here, maybe some white on my flowers here. It just kind of helps bring these to life, make them look a little bit more 3D than less flat. So I like that there. I like to use my gel pen to like just bring these things to life. And the other thing I changed when I glued these things down was rather than putting these in the middle here, and the reason I did that is I felt like they kind of got lost between each other. So I put them in the corners, and I think that helped bring that green into the middle versus just being on the end. So that's the reason I put these bows here on the edge here. And of course we can't do the white jelly here because it won't show up. So I just think this makes these look a little bit nicer here, and it makes that pop, I feel like. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you today. Take a look and let me know what you think. I'm going to give you a close-up here of some of these things, and you can see closer detail here. And as always, I'll have stills of these on my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok pages. If you're not following me there, please hop over and give me a follow. It really does help me out. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please send me a nice Christmas present with a subscribe and a like and a comment. Those really do help me out as I'm trying to grow my tiny little channel. I would really like to see this become something that is a useful place for you guys. And if you like what I'm doing, it helps me know what you like and what you don't like and helps my channel grow. So other than that, stay happy, stay scrappy, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.